سرهنگ دوم پیاده ستاد غلامرضا یوسف نژاد، فرمانده گارد احترام، مفتخراً از حضور حضرت ریاست جمهوری ایالات متحده آمریکا استدعا دارد. گارد احترام پرچم‌های ارتشی ایران، نیروهای سگانه ارتش شاهنشاهی و گارد شاهنشاهی را بازدید فرمایند.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Shah Banu, myself, and the Iranian people, I welcome you. Mrs. Carter and your delegation on Iranian soil. We cherish your arrival as the head of state of a country with which Iran always had unshakable bonds and the best of relations, and at the same time as an exalted friend and the most esteemed guest. We sincerely hope that you will take back with you happy memories of your short visit to our country. And in the meantime, we sincerely hope that all the stages of your present trip will be marked by the best of successes. For the Shah Banu and I, it is great pleasure to be your host only a few weeks after our trip to your country. Your distinguished personality, sincerity, goodwill, moral virtues, and also the hospitality and kindness of Mrs. Carter have remained close to our hearts. On behalf of all the people of Iran, welcome to our country.
To respond. Your Imperial Majesties, distinguished officials and citizens of Iran, my own nation has been blessed this year by an official visit of His Imperial Majesty the Shah and by the Shah Empress Farah. This was a fine gesture of friendship, and we also benefited from extensive discussions between the Shah and myself of important issues for Iran and for the United States. I am proud and pleased to be able to come to Iran at the end of this year, my first year in office, and I believe your 27th year as a leader of this great nation, and to begin another new year with our close friends and allies. In these times of endings and beginnings, I look forward to consulting with the Shah about two of the issues that have most dominated our thoughts in the year just passed and will require our best actions in the years ahead. One is finding solutions to the economic problems of the world's rich and the world's poor. None of these problems is more important than that of energy. Neither producer nor consumer nations can survive and prosper if we recklessly exhaust the world's limited supplies of oil, and neither group of nations can solve the problem without the cooperation of the other. It is because my nation takes this problem seriously that we are determined soon to have a comprehensive energy plan designed to eliminate waste and to develop alternate sources of energy supplies. We are cooperating closely with Iran, and it is because I respect the leadership of the Shah in this area that I have come to him for consultation and for advice. The other great issue is bringing peace to the troubled areas of the world and turning back the rising tide of armaments and dissension. The Shah and I share a hope that peace will come soon to the Middle East, and that as our military alliance remains unshakable, we may help to reduce the level of tension and armaments throughout the world. The interests of our nations are built on the interests of individuals, and in all of our discussions, both public and private, we emphasize guaranteeing our citizens the fullest economic and political human rights. I come with warm personal feelings for the leaders of Iran, and I bring best New Year greetings from the United States for the people of this great country. Thank you very much, Your Majesties, for this warm and hospitable welcome. Thank you, sir. Your Majesties, and distinguished leaders of Iran from all walks of life. I'd like to say just a few words tonight in appreciation for your hospitality and the delightful evening that we've already experienced with you. Some have asked why we came to Iran so close behind the delightful visit that we received from the Shah and Empress Farah just a month or so ago. After they left our country, I asked my wife, with whom would you like to spend New Year's Eve? And she said, above all others, I think with the Shah and Empress Farah. So we arranged a trip accordingly and came to be with you. These visits and the close cooperation that we share, the intense personal and group negotiations and consultations are very beneficial to both our countries. They are particularly beneficial to me as a new leader of the United States. I might pause parenthetically and say I apologize for taking 10 years off your service this afternoon. When I said 27 years, it should have been 37 years. And Empress Farah, thank you very much for correcting me on that.
I felt younger, Mr. President.
Very fine. The Shah said he felt 10 years younger when I did it. But we do have a close friendship that's very meaningful to all the people in our country. I think it is a good harbinger of things to come that we could close out this year and begin a new year with those in whom we have such great confidence and with whom we share such great responsibilities for the present and for the future. As we drove in from the airport this afternoon to the beautiful White Palace where we will spend the night and saw the monument in the distance, I asked the Shah what was the purpose of the beautiful monument. And he told me that it was built several years ago, erected to commemorate the 2500th anniversary of this great nation. This was a sobering thought to me. We have been very proud in our nation to celebrate our 200th birthday a couple of years ago. But it illustrates the deep and penetrating consciousness that comes from an ancient heritage and a culture that preceded any that we've ever known in our own lives. Recently, Empress Farah gave us a beautiful book called The Bridge of Turquoise. And we get many gifts of that kind from visitors, and for a few days I have to admit that we didn't pay enough attention to it. And one night I started to thumb through the pages, and I called my wife Rosalind and I called my daughter Amy, who climbed into my lap. And we spent several hours studying very carefully the beautiful history that this book portrays of Persia, of Iran, of its people, of its lands, of its heritage and its history, and also of its future. It caused me to be reminded again of the value of ancient friendships and the importance of close ties that bind us as we face difficult problems. Iran, because of the great leadership of the Shah, is an island of stability in one of the more troubled areas of the world. This is a great tribute to you, Your Majesty, and to your leadership, and to the respect and the admiration and love which your people give to you. The transformation that has taken place in this nation is indeed remarkable under your leadership. And as we sat together this afternoon, discussing privately for a few moments what might be done to bring peace to the Middle East, I was profoundly impressed again, not only with your wisdom and your judgment and your sensitivity and insight, but also with the close compatibility that we found in addressing this difficult question. As we visit with leaders who have in their hands the responsibility for making decisions that can bring peace to the Middle East and ensure a peaceful existence for all of us who live in the world, no matter where our nations might be, it's important that we continue to benefit from your sound judgment and from your good advice. We also had a chance to discuss another potential troubled area, the Horn of Africa. And here again, we live at a great distance from it. But this region, which already sees the initiation of hostility and combat, needs to be brought under the good influence of you and others who live in this region. And we will be glad to cooperate in any way that we can. We want peace to return. We want Somalia and Ethiopia to be friends again, border disputes to be eased, and those of us who do have any influence at all to use that influence for these purposes. We have also known about the great benefits that we derive in our own nation from the close business relationships that we have with Iran. As I drove through the beautiful streets of Tehran today with the Shah, we saw literally thousands of Iranian citizens standing beside the street with a friendly attitude expressing their welcome to me